And of course, everybody who identifies in between, we're back playing more Runescape, doing what we usually like to do. And by like to do, I mean absolutely hate. Because Hall of Memories is such a freaking grind. You know? Like, the grind is real, people. Right, one... Sure, I'll listen to that for now. There's a butterfly. There's a butterfly. God blessings, let's go, let's go. There's a calm surrender to the rush of day. Lobo, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Getting you on your new vitamins. I'm very glad to hear that. I'm very glad to hear that. Grab that car. You don't want to take liquid months for instance, you don't want to have best I'm gonna say feels good not to feel shitty. Yeah. I know that feeling when I've been feeling shitty for a while and then I wake up one day and I'm just feeling great. I'm like, I like it. Yeah, I take high dose multivitamin tablets and like they do okay. But you are very true that liquids are better, but they're significantly more expensive, so oh, I know, right? There's a car. Oh, oh, there's a call. Sorry, I'm just Alright. Done what I need to do. Something's wrong. Low fucking magnesium. Yeah. It's amazing how just being low in a mineral or metal or a vitamin can just completely fuck you over. You know? Mrs. Biffle Chips, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. So, I did put an announcement out on Discord, but for those of you who are on Discord but don't have app mentions enabled at everyone's, I should say, the alcohol channel has been renamed to drinks channel. So please share drinks of all kinds. Nice, Lobo, nice. It's important for us to maintain our health, and that includes a healthy balance of our microbiome, various vitamins, minerals, fiber, etc. It's even harder for me because obviously I'm a vegetarian. Now, I'm a vegetarian for health reasons because I can't digest a lot of animal proteins thanks to a genetic flaw in my body. But it does mean that I have to be more considerate of what I'm eating. Fiber is not a problem for me, but protein is a little bit of a problem if I'm not being careful. And obviously iron and various other like B vitamins and the like. Oh yeah, definitely. Red, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Oh, there's a call. I can digest eggs, and I do eat eggs on a semi-regular basis, but I hate eggs. I do not like eggs. I don't like eggs cooked, I don't like eggs raw. I do force myself to add eggs to various meals wherever possible. I do eat a lot of soy protein, you know, legumes, peas, beans, chickpeas, that kind of thing. But I'm a massive fan of pea protein and soy protein. And yes, I know there are some potential health impacts as a guy eating lots of soya. I know. There's not. It is what it is, you know? And I can eat fish, but I just think fish is disgusting. I just hate fish. You make do with what you have, exactly. So I do eat, like I said, I do eat eggs on a regular basis, and I cook them in lots of ways. You know, fried eggs, scrambled eggs, boiled eggs. I recently learned how to poach eggs and did a decent job. You know, so I do quite like pickled eggs, but I don't know if the pickling process has any impact on the protein availability of it. But I do really like pickled eggs. Assembled as eggs. I know you meant bones, but that's still funny. See, the only time I eat fish is if I'm in a proper sushi restaurant, and I haven't done that since before the lockdowns. I've not done that since before the lockdowns, so you know, it's been a while. You're not a huge fan of beef? I was never a massive fan of meat anyway, which is probably why going vegetarian worked so easily for me. I very often would go days without eating meat when I was even a meat eater. I do miss lamb sometimes, and I missed like fermented and spiced meats, you know, like salamis and that kind of thing, smoked meats and that. Kota, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Today is my first day of trying powdered energy drinks. I'm purposely covering the brand. I did post it on Discord though. Not sponsored, not affiliated. I'm not advertising them. The flavor's okay. Yeah, I was a big fan of cured meats, and we all know that a bunch of nitrates is not good for you, but it tastes so good. Twitch is being a book. Twitch is just, you know. There's a reason that I'm restreaming. Exactly, you know? Like, everything in moderation. You know, I am a fan of white chocolate, for instance, and white chocolate is like the worst chocolate health-wise. You know? So I don't eat it very often. But I do like white chocolate. I also really like dark chocolate, which I eat much more frequently. See, I'm not fit and I'm not active because of disability. That's something I'm wanting to change, so I might be going on holiday tomorrow, or it might be the day after that. It depends if my meds get delivered in the morning or evening. But after I get back, I'm going to be making a doctor's appointment about trying stronger painkillers, and then I can be more active, because I miss... I'm not expecting to go and cycle like I used to, but if I can, you know, just go for some nice gentle walks and walk around town or whatever without feeling like my knees are going and hips are going to explode, that would be appreciated. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, white chocolate is like the least healthy chocolate. It's sugar, cocoa fat, and milk. You know? Like, usually some vanilla flavoring in there and whatever else. Like, I do... it's one of the few really sweet things that I like. I don't have much of a sweet tooth. I'm more into, like... if I am going to have dessert style things, I'm more into, like, salted caramel. And, you know, that, like, balance of sweet and savoury kind of deal. But there's just something about white chocolate that I really like. It depends which brake you hit. So like, you know, back brake always first, and then front brake to make sure that you actually stop. Never just jam on both brakes at the same time or jam on the front brake, because bad things will happen. You know, I used to cycle hundreds to 1,000 miles a week. And I very quickly learned, if you go in at anything close to a decent speed, do not touch your front brake until you've already slowed down with the back. Because bad things will happen. Yep, that is exactly the bad things that will happen. But going back to the health, it's like vaping, right? Like, I hate it when people say vaping is healthy. You know? Vaping is... Thank you for the alert, Miss Biscuits. Vaping is not healthy. It is a more healthy option than smoking cigarettes and tobacco products. But I don't think it's healthy, you know? I mean, like, if you live in a city, just breathing the air isn't healthy. But breathing in anything other than, you know, nice clean air is not healthy. And I don't, you know... I don't think it's fair to say vaping is as bad as the cigarettes. I think the problem is, and I do it as well, a lot of people vape a lot more than they smoke, you know? Like, not maybe less me, because I was a very heavy smoker, but I know a lot of people who used to smoke like 5-10 a day, and now just vape constantly. You know? So, yes, it is less harmful, but you're exposing yourself to significantly more of it. Like, both in volume and time. I mean, that depends what vapes you get. Vapes in the UK are very, very heavily regulated. And very, very heavily tested. So, like, there are more heavy metals in cigarettes than there are in the average vape in the UK. Like, in the vapor itself. I'm not talking about just in the liquid. But, like, the vapor is tested here. The liquid is tested. The devices are tested. Like, everything is tested. You know, and... it's different in America. I'm going to take my headphones off to talk about this. It's different in America because, unlike Britain, most American tobacco products are grown in America. Right? And what that means is that it's much more heavily regulated. But most tobacco products that we consume in Europe comes from the Middle East, which have significantly less regulations and restrictions in how it's grown. Okay, so here's the thing. You're wrong. So popcorn lung is a thing, but it's not caused by metals. It's caused by diacetyl, which is artificial butter flavor. Nothing to do with metals. Popcorn lung, like, I don't know in America, but in all of Europe, diacetyl is not allowed anywhere near vapes. The reason it's called popcorn lung, by the way, is the most common use for diacetyl is flavouring popcorn to give it a butter taste when they don't want to use real butter. Which is why it's called popcorn lung. And yeah, there is so like pretty much all recorded medical cases of vaping attributed lung damage comes from illicit vapes. So it's like margarine, but even worse. Exactly. Pretty much, I have read case study after case study, peer-reviewed paper after peer-reviewed paper, and I keep up to date on it. And pretty much every case of vaping attributed lung damage has been caused by some form of illicit vape. So vapes that have been made by people themselves, or illegal THC cartridges, no worries, Red, or things like that, you know? in if you buy the properly regulated and strictly, you know, like in Britain, vaping industry, it's the diacetyl and aerosol, yeah. Aerosol question mark? Do you mean the diacetyl as an aerosol? Maybe. If that is what you mean, then yes, that is exactly what it is. Don't breathe diacetyl, it's bad for you. I mean, you probably shouldn't eat it either, but it's much worse in your lungs. But yeah, like vaping is regulated as a medical product in Britain. So it is the regulations that apply to vaping in Britain and most of Europe are the same regulations that apply to medication. So significantly stricter than those for food or tobacco products. Which is why vaping, like most vaping liquid in the UK is not coloured. There are some. I've got one, which is like a heavy menthol, a little bit fruity flavour, and it's coloured. And to me, it was really strange that it was coloured. Because, like, most companies try their best to have as few ingredients as possible in the liquids. And colours are just adding ingredients that don't add anything to the experience of the product. You know? Like, yes, they look pretty in a tank, but, like, most tanks in Britain, you can't, like, most of them are dark coloured, so you don't see the colour. I mean, there is no water in vapor. I hate it when people call it water vapor. It's not water vapor. It's a vapor of glycol and glycerin. So when people call it water vapor, that pisses me off. We actually have lots of research of people breathing in glycerin and glycerol vapor from DJs. Funnily enough, the stuff that are in smoke machines used in nightclubs and on film sets, etc., is the exact same stuff that is used in vape pens, except we add nicotine and flavorants. But we've had flavored smoke machine like liquids for a long time. You know, and there has been extensive research done into if smoke machines cause any kind of lung damage. And time again, it's been proven that smoke machines do not cause lung damage. Now, that does not mean that vaping can't. Like, the dose makes the poison, right? But we do know that prolonged and extended exposure to it in the lungs is not likely to cause damage from just pure glycerin and glycerol. The question that you've got is, does the nicotine itself? Now, as far as I know, all research points to nicotine itself does not cause any health problems with the lungs. It's all the other crap in tobacco. So the nicotine's fine, but then flavorings, you know, like breathing in the amount of flavorings in a vape liquid is significantly higher than the amount of flavorings in a smoke machine liquid. Because a smoke machine liquid isn't meant to be tasted, it's meant to be smelled, and you can smell things at much lower concentrations than you can taste them. Smell is much more. So, yeah. But as I said, these things are very heavily tested in the same way how we test medication in the UK. And so far, although we are continuing to research it and continuing to watch those who vape, vaping is less harmful than smoking. And once again, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying vaping is healthy, because vaping is not healthy. You know, If your choice is between smoking and vaping, choose vaping because it's the better option. If your choice is to do nothing, just to breathe air or vape, breathe air. I was a heavy smoker and I swapped to vaping. And for me, that's the better option. But I have a big issue with people, usually teenagers, who have never smoked and started vaping. And to me, that makes no sense. But at the same time, it's just the same as like everybody starts smoking at some point. I started smoking when I was 12. And realistically, that makes no sense either, right? Like, it makes no sense to start smoking, but yeah, all of us who smoke or vape at some point decided to start. In my case, it was due to peer pressure, and I find that in a lot of cases of people who started smoking young, it is either peer pressure or curiosity, And to some degree, depends on your age, you might see your parents smoking and go, well, they do it, maybe I should. Because we want to be like our parents, right? But regardless of the fact, like, some people are going to choose to start vaping who never smoked before. To me, I think that's silly, but at the same time, I started smoking when I've never smoked before. I didn't smoke from being born. And they were forced to. Yeah, there are lots of reasons why people smoke or vape. I was just pointing out the most common. Either you want to seem cool, peer pressure by your friends, or, trying to emulate parents who smoke. There are lots of other reasons. Everything from bad home life to trauma to, curiosity. You feel like you're missing out because your friend group goes and smokes in the smoking area when you're at the pub and you don't go with them. And then you go with them and you're drunk. So you go, well, everybody's here smoking. I may as well have a cig. You're broke and they have a cig and you have one. And yeah, like, there are lots of reasons why people start smoking at all different ages. So I try to, in life in general, I try not to judge anybody anyway. But I try not to judge for people who make the decisions. I think it's important that we educate and inform people. If you are underage and starting smoking, I don't think you have the emotional or mental capacity to really understand what you're doing. Which is why we have minimum ages for buying nicotine and tobacco products, right? But if you are, 16, 18, 20, we all are aware of what smoking can do, but I feel like it's not widely advertised well enough that there is still a danger with vaping, and part of the danger is unknown, right? Like, we have, probably, a century of researching tobacco products, probably longer. We very, very well know, and pretty much everybody knows, that smoking is dangerous and can cause cancer and a whole range of other issues. The problem is that we don't. You're blessed with analogies to nicotine. So we don't know, and I hate it when people say, like, it's safe. We don't know if breathing in dense vapor of glycerin, vegetable glycerol, propylene glycol, whatever is it made out of. We don't know if breathing in large volumes of it over a prolonged period of time can cause damage. It probably will not cause cancer, but it must condense at some point in your lungs, so some of this liquid is staying in your lungs, right? This liquid is hydroscopic, so it not only is filling your lungs with an inert chemical, but it's also increasing the amount of water in your lungs. Now, water is pretty good for... Now, our lungs are pretty humid and watery environments anyway, but water is pretty good for breeding, bacteria and things. So, I think it's fair to assess that if you vape, your chance of getting, like, bacterial infections in your lungs is probably higher. I think that's a fair logical... Even though I have no medical information to back that up, and I'm not saying that that is definitely what happens, I think it's fair to assume that that happens, right? I think it's fair to assume that happens. Now, I get chest infections all the time anyway, unrelated to vaping. I did before I vaped. I have chronic lung disease, which means I probably shouldn't be smoking, and I probably shouldn't be vaping, and I definitely shouldn't be smoking. The thing is, I like nicotine, and even my doctor agrees that people with my neurological condition often end up having nicotine because it has been scientifically proven that nicotine actually helps balance the central nervous system of people with my specific diagnosis. So the doctor actually thinks that quitting nicotine completely would cause me more harm than good. Now, there are alternative ways of consuming nicotine. There's gum patches, little tablets, etc, etc. There's lots of ways to consume nicotine. My preferred way is vaping, which once again is not healthy. It is safer than smoking, but not healthy. And that's the thing, I try and make everybody aware that this is what I choose to do, accepting that there may be some unknown health impacts from doing this that we don't yet currently know. The liquid section of e-liquid is probably safe because we've got lots of data from DJs and people who work on film sets and things. So the liquid part of it is probably safe. The flavorings, flavorings were created to be in our mouth and our stomach, not in our lungs, so that might be a problem. And our first example of seeing that being a problem is diacetyl causing popcorn lung, which, diacetyl is completely safe to consume in the dosages that it is consumed. We know that. We've been eating it for a very long time. It's not safe to breathe. Now, what about the other flavors? And currently there is, massive amounts of research being done into do the flavors cause problems. The nicotine itself is completely safe. Nicotine has been very heavily researched over the years, and isolated nicotine is completely safe to consume. But like I said, the flavorings and the colorants used in some e-liquids might be a problem. And we won't know if they are a problem for probably another decade, up to another few decades. Once you've got decades of data to, research and consider, and you've got people who vaped and stopped vaping, people who smoked and then vaped, people who never vaped, etc, etc, and you can compare all of that data. Only then can you start to get an idea of how harmful vaping is. I am, once again, not under the impression that vaping is safe. I'm not under the impression that vaping is healthy. I am under the impression that vaping is most probably more safe than smoking. Now, how much safer is the question? Is it 99% safer, or is it 50% safer? We don't know. That's the truth. We just don't know. But like the CDC, the NHS, and the UK Health Security Agency, whatever the European equivalent of that is, I can't remember. all agree that vaping is almost certainly almost certainly safer than smoking. We just don't know to what degree. Being allergic to nicotine, for me, would be pretty shit because nicotine is helpful as part of a treatment plan for my condition. There has been many research done in prescribing fixed dosage of nicotine to treat people with my condition, and alongside painkillers and various other medications has been proven to be more effective than painkillers alone. I don't know if anybody is currently prescribing nicotine to treat my condition, but it is very common for people with my condition to end up consuming nicotine. It is also very common for people in recovery of alcohol addiction to be consuming nicotine. So, yeah. Also, terrible thing has happened. I can't find my my chip. I just hiccuped. I can't find my chip. Or coin, or whatever you want to call it. My AA chip. I don't know what I'm done with it. I had it last night. I mean, yes and no. So, although being exposed to something can cause our bodies to start rejecting it, that is a thing. I think if it was likely to do that, lots and lots of people, especially smokers, would develop addictions to it. Especially, we would see a lot more people of my mum's age and my grandparents' age who were addicted to nicotine, because back then people just smoked in the house. People smoked in the hospital. You know? People smoked in the pub. Hell, teachers would smoke whilst teaching children. You know? They thought it was healthy, so... Yeah, I don't know. There are lots of reasons why people develop allergies, and some amount of those reasons do come down to exposure. There is some amount of research that exposing very young babies to various things can induce allergic reactions, such as peanuts, which is why it is recommended, at least in Britain, to not give your very young child nuts of any kind. And they're like, I think it's like 18 months they recommend you to wait. I genuinely don't know what I've done with my chip. How have I lost it? Anyway, headphones. No, that's what that bit is. Moving on from the conversation about vaping. Spotify is refusing to load. Awesome. Let's close it, reopen it. Now I'm just getting Spotify logo. I'm curious if the app needs updating. Pause, close it. Reopen it, and there we go. It did need updating. Yeah, I'm also pretty lucky that for most things I'm not very addicted. Like, I can go, like, if I'm out and about, I often don't take my vape with me. Like, if I'm sat at my desk, I'm vaping. But if I'm out and about, very often I will either take my vape and not vape, or I just don't even bother taking my vape with me when I'm out and about. I've been taking opiates for a very long time, but I can still go days without taking opiates and it not bother me if my pain isn't bad. Alcohol is something that I do have a problem with. I have admitted I have a problem with it. And I now do not consume alcohol. He's more likely to have addiction because of messed up chemicals in their brain. Very true. Yeah, there's an I've actually read a lot about that. There's a number of reasons why, and some of it is pathological. So some of it is due to the differences in our brains. Like people with ADHD, for instance, are dopamine deficient. So if you are consuming something like nicotine or alcohol or other, mind-altering substances that increase the amount of dopamine in your brain, you're going to notice that effect it a lot more than if your dopamine levels were statistically normal, which means you are more likely to do it again because you feel it more. So you're more likely to then become addicted because you're more likely to do it. There are a lot of people who tried smoking who go, "That was disgusting, I'll never do it again." But if you are somebody who's dopamine deficient, such as with ADHD, you are much more likely to go, "Hey, that was all right. I'll try it again. I'm not really addicted yet, but I got a nice buzz off it. It made me feel good, so let's do it again." And then that's how you become addicted. There are lots of other reasons for it as well, like sociological. So people with, autism are more likely to mask to try to fit in. So if your friend group smokes, you're more likely to start smoking just to fit in because that's what us autistic people like to do. So it's like a two-pronged attack. It's a sociological and a pathological reason why we're more likely to do things that are addictive. And also we do have to throw in the point that we are more impulsive. Why am I not connected to Wi-Fi? We are more likely to do things that are impulsive. And less thought through. So yeah, there are lots of reasons. There we go. Lots of reasons why people with additional needs are more likely to abuse substances. Much like how people with mental health issues are just more likely to abuse substances, and people who are neurodivergent are also more likely to have mental health issues, so I imagine that plays a part in it as well. Self-medicating and that kind of thing. What do I want to listen to? I know. I want to listen to my high energy playlist. Yeah, no, that's very true. Even in Britain, where we have a half decent public health system, like mental health care is below minimum standards, in my opinion. And like, if you're in a country where you don't have public health care, if you're in a country where you don't have public health care, and then it depends on if you can afford it yourself, which could be a problem. Yeah, I can see why. I can see why. They are trying to make it easier to get mental health care in Britain, but we don't have enough doctors of all kinds. Right? We don't have enough medical doctors, we don't have enough psychiatric doctors. And like, if the government really could, they could, you know, tune the visa system to suit medical professionals. Like, I've said this before. If the government really could, they would just, create a new system where you can get a work visa to Britain if you're a medical professional, regardless of what band you fall into. Obviously, you'd have to be able to speak English and all of that. And if you work for the NHS for so many hours per year for so many years, you just get British citizenship. Say you did a decade of 40 hours per week on average per, for 10 years, you just got British citizenship. Now, if they did something like that, we could very quickly increase the number of, high-skilled medical professionals in Britain, but they won't do that because, oh no, immigration stealing our jobs. Well, they're not stealing our jobs because no fucker from Britain wants to work in the healthcare sector. Not literally none of them, but not enough of them want to. Welcome back, Red. Welcome back. Let me grab my charger. What lubber? I feel great on it, mind you. Oh, I just... You on the maximum dose of Lexapro of humans, that's... I fuck yeah, it already... I don't know what Lexapro is, we don't use brand names here. And if I was talking to you not live on stream, I would Google it, but I'm live on stream, so you know. Please give me the generic name. I'm on max dose of quite a few meds. No, but I don't... There are lots of SSRIs. Which one is it? What's its generic name? Citalopram. Ah, okay. Yes, citalopram's a pretty low-end SSRI. Yeah, I'm on like max dose of almost all of my mental health meds. Yeah, I hate talking to Americans or people who live in America about medications because who the fuck cares about what brand name your medication is? You know? But yeah, most SSRIs are pretty good for anxiety, depending on the type of anxiety. So like, I'm on an antipsychotic, mostly for anxiety and intrusive thoughts. I'm on an SSRI, an SNRI, and whatever the hell chlorpromazine antipsychotic is. And then ADHD meds, painkillers, lung, lung medication. Use paranoia, PTSD based anxiety. Yeah, I've got generalized anxiety disorder and CPTSD, so I understand. One day at a time, definitely. I think that's the thing, is a lot of people... I think when you're in the situation of struggling with your mental health, it's hard to it's hard to see yourself getting better until you're quite a bit better, and it can seem very hopeless. One moment, guys, I've just got to I've got to deal with this real quick. Nice. Alright, sorry, I was just dealing with... Yeah. Right. Sorry, I was just dealing with an issue with the Meta account. Because you know it's Meta, you're gonna have issues. quiet today, guys. I mean, it is Sunday, to be fair. There we go. Blessing. And blessing. Awesome. Not doing too badly here. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? English only in chat, please. Very true. I know. Although as long as one of us are aware of what's being said, I think that's fine. Jacob, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. It's your own fault. No worries, Red. You took a few naps yesterday. See, that's why I don't nap, because it just messes with my sleep pattern. popped a funny over to you in Discord. Okay, I'll have a look. I've seen that before. Ori, thank you for the look. Much appreciated. Yeah, I wasn't gonna bother you today with a link, given the situation that you find yourself in. But I appreciate you coming along lurking, despite that. Oh, I'm so tired today. Because despite me not sleeping the night before, last night I still didn't sleep all that great. Probably because I consumed so much caffeine yesterday just so I could function. Uh, Guys, how has everybody's day been today? What have you been up to? What have you done with your Sunday? Oh, red? There's a call. Nice. I mean, nobody's perfect. Ah, sorry, the pain today. The pain! The pain is absolutely pissing me off. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a lot of things I need to do, and this stream's really quiet. I don't know where everyone's at. Nah, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Well, I know you're here. Can we get a roll call in chat, guys? No. So close, yet so far. I'm getting hungry, and that's something to keep an eye on. I don't have... What am I eating today? Yeah, I know what I'm having today. I'm having soy protein kebab. Although eating. So maybe burger actually would make more sense. Oh. So I think we'll do 2 hours, guys. I'll stream till 8 PM, then I'll eat and do what I need to do. Yeah. Yes, they do. There's a car. No worries, Red, no worries. Vitani, how you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Could be better. Would you like to talk about that? I'm actually struggling. I think many of us understand that at the moment. I think many of us understand that at the moment. Inflation is really kicking my butt, that's for sure. Ugh. I wish there was something I could do to help Vitani. I wish there was something I could do to help, but... You made a clan citadel, nice, nice. I had a clan originally, but I gave up on it and joined a clan that I get on with pretty well. You know, there's around 200 members in the clan that I'm in, so it's not massive, but it's big enough. My laptop isn't muted. Can I be bothered? Yes, I can. Give me one moment, guys. But no, I'm really happy for you that your clan is working out. How many members have you got in your clan now? How big is your clan? 11. Not bad, not bad. Welcome back, Red. Welcome back. He knows they're free. Lamb to slaughter. What does one do when the blood in the water? Mrs. Biff Chips, welcome back. How you doing? How's things? How's life? How did the call with the... was it parents, in-laws? Something like that? Go. Parents, it went well. I'm glad to hear, I'm glad to hear. I knew it was some kind of older relative, but I couldn't remember the exact relation. Well, I'm glad to hear that you got it unstuck, correct? I'm not sure what you mean by platter. Do you mean tray? You mean like an oven tray? I know English isn't your first language. I forget that sometimes because your English is so good. But I do quite often forget that English is not your native language. Culinarily, your vocabulary is terrible. That's fair. I'm trying to ignore my hunger. I'm trying to ignore my hunger right now. I've got hunger! It's multiplying! Okay. It's a very oddly specific task to do whilst angry. Oh. Why? There's a car. Nice. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm trying to ignore the hunger, but the hunger is building, and I can't stop thinking about food, which is making the hunger worse. But I've got food, Red. I just need to cook it. Although if somebody does want to buy me food, I won't say no. I just need to check something really quick. Real quick, gotta check this. Have I been paid? Helpful if I entered my password, wouldn't it? And then they're gonna text me. Viewing my statement, doing all the things. Yeah, it did go out, that's fine. Right, sorry about that. I just had to check if that payment did go out. I don't know, you guys are all very quiet today. What's going on? What's going on? It's hard to have a conversation with people who's not talking. You know? Have you put any more thought, Mr. Biffle Chips, into your ideas for garments? Anything you like, my friend. Ah, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Involve taking a close look at the patterns, which will involve getting off your butt and buying the patterns. For the reading stuff. That's not too bad then. That's not the window that I wanted. Gotta get the blessing. How's your day going, Kat? How is your Sunday going? And as we like to do on Sundays, let's do a week in review. How has everybody's week been? Mine has been hit and miss. I'm back on meds, but I've been not very productive for most. I've been not very productive for most of this past. What's it called? I'm not been very productive for most of this past week because I was still getting back used to being on meds, which I hate when I'm off meds for any length of time. It takes, like 3 or 4 days till I'm back to normal. And then I go away, hopefully tomorrow, Tuesday. Well, turns out your vegetable of the laptop decided to die right when you asked that. Well, there you go. We are doing a week in review, Red. How has your week been? How has your week been? I did just say my week's been hit and miss because I only got back on meds the middle of the week. So I've not really been very productive all week. Now the sound's busted. Twitch. Oh, Twitch, oh, Twitch, oh, Twitch. Why did nobody tell me the sound was broken? Or is it only broken for Red? That's the question that needs to be asked. We'll ask if sound is working for everyone else. As Twitch just shit the bed on me. We didn't have a DC, so I don't know why the sound would not be working. I do know if we disconnect, still the same for you. I do know if we disconnect, the sound dies, but other than that. Is it working on YouTube, Red? No one even answered my question. Dreadful. Oh, I see. Alright. Red, is sound working on YouTube? Can you hear me? And can you hear me talking tonight? Or am I mute? Oh Twitch, why you gotta break all the goddamn time? I don't know if anyone can hear me singing, but whatever. It's enough for that wide-eyed wanderer. It is awesome. So you can hear me then, Red. Well, talk to me then, God. Leaving me out in the cold, emotionally speaking. I have no idea why Twitch is doing this. I'm gonna have to reach out to Streamlabs and be like, yo, why is this happening? You got nothing to talk about. How can you have nothing to talk about, man? How's your week been? That's what I asked you. Tell me about your week. The usual, you guess. Red, you're really bad at conversations. Tell me about your week. What have you done? Paint me a story. And I don't know where Missy Biffle Chips has gone. Well, 2 weeks ago, a classmate had an argument with a teacher that got very loud. Okay. Also being bad at conversation. RIP. Jeez, guys. And I'm the autistic one. There's a call. What's the weather like for you guys? Tell me about the weather. Basically, the classmate argued that he was present for an exam, but there was a lot of evidence of him being absent. Well, either he was there or not, you know? Like, he either handed in an exam or he didn't. There's a call. It seems like something that... It's cloudy, cool, and humid. At least it's cool, right? I see. You want to play some DVD? Have a good stream. Thank you, Fredicus, although we are getting towards the end of the stream, I think. Because I'm getting very hungry. Okay, okay. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Sorry, I was just got an email. We're doing okay. We're gonna keep streaming. We're gonna keep going. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's have a good day. We are having a good time. Epic Domain, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Do feel free to say hello in chat if you're watching live. Can somebody send a message in YouTube chat for me to make sure it's working, please? It should work, but you never know. I don't want to be ignoring anybody. That didn't work, Mrs. Bifflechips. I'm logged in on Scottish Scott. Let's test that. It displayed on screen, but it's not showing up in my chat window. No, that's weird. Refresh chat. I just realized I can do this myself. Test 2. Right, I'm just going to pop out the chat. Because multi-stream chat is apparently not working. So is it working out for other platforms? Test. Works for Trovo. I can't test Facebook because I'm not logged in. In fact, let's... So yeah, everything's working apart from YouTube. Awesome. I popped out YouTube chat and I've got it open, so that's fine. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. Great, thanks, Red. I hope that's the song you were talking about. That's the song that's in my head. Yes, alright. Thinking I might mix up what music I'm listening to. What am I thinking? I'll listen to some Connor Price. Something different, completely different. Go to some rap instead. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Ugh. I think I might, after I'm back from being away, I might experiment with what time of day I'm streaming and see if different time of day is better for people. Because at the moment, it's not even, I don't mind that I'm not growing. I very, very often say that, but we're actually shrinking, you know, in viewership on Twitch. Oh, on average, we're staying about normal. Like, I've got 12 viewers across all platforms at the moment. Now, some of those will be double viewers from, like, who are lurking on platforms. But still. So I'm wondering if changing up the time I stream or potentially mixing in some other games. It didn't work well with Space Engineers, but if I could stream a more popular game, maybe. Just maybe. You know? Because I have mentioned this, I'm getting a little bit burnt out on RuneScape. Anyway. So I have been thinking about trying out games, so I might do some market research and see what kind of games get viewership or whatever. See if any of them I think I'll enjoy. I don't know. No dice for old school, you assume. I just don't, I don't know, I have been thinking about giving old school another try. But like, if I'm looking to grow on platforms other than Twitch, old school isn't the way to go. Like, if I want to grow on Twitch, if Twitch is my focus of attention, old school will be fine, because old school is massive on Twitch. And even so on YouTube, but it's not very big on Trovo. I don't know what it's like on Facebook. And I'm waiting to hear back off Twitch to see if I can multicast to Kick at the same time. The Old School has like no following on most of platforms. So it depends on where I'm looking to grow. And also, if I'm burnt out on RuneScape, is playing Old School RuneScape going to help? You know? Like, is it different enough of a game? Is it different enough of a game to make sense? Streaming to have a break from RuneScape? I don't know. That's the thing, right? Is it's about me being able to do this every day. And if I'm doing it every day, I won't. Obviously, I won't be playing Old School RuneScape every day. I'm not planning to swap. I'm planning to supplement. But my question is, if I'm going from RuneScape to Old School, am I going to get enough of a different experience? Am I going to get enough of a different experience to make it make sense? You know? I don't know. I don't think I am. I know that, but I'm not planning to stop streaming every day when I hit the full year. And I need to think about longevity, you know? That's the question at hand, right? Let me let's go to Twitch website. So I'm just looking at what games are popular. Sorry, I'm just trying to work something out. So I'm just trying to organize with my friend. I might, who I'm meeting up with, I may go on holiday the week after next. Yeah, that's fine. So it won't be next week, the week after. Sorry, I'm just looking through games at the moment. Nothing on. If I get a message, is anybody looking at YouTube chat? If I get a message, can you let me know? If possible. Oh, okay, so it works now. Alright, thank you. Multi-stream chat thing. So at least we know that YouTube chat's now working awesome, so I don't need to... I can look through this. Hmm. I don't know, guys. We are doing okay here. I think I need to have a look. Uh, I'm just having a look at the various viewership figures on all the stream platforms I'm on. So Trovo's just small, to be honest, which is what I expected. It's what I expected. Some of the most viewed. I'm curious. Would you say my streams are chill, guys? Weetabix. I don't eat cereal in general, but if I were, I don't think Weetabix is high up on my list, you know? Yeah, I'm not a massive Weetabix fan. Like, I'll eat it if it's in and I don't have anything else. But yeah. And I like brown bread, so it's not even a case of I don't like whole wheat, you know? Because I can understand there's people who just don't like whole wheat in general. You know, I quite like brown bread. I'm a pretty avid eater of whole wheat. But yeah. Right, so I've got an idea here, guys. Create a studio. You ever coming back? Why? What's your problem with Pearland? Yeah, but that would happen in most stores. Like, that's how most stores do it in the UK. You know? That's fair enough. The here's an interesting thing about Trovo. Instead of having low latency mode, they have normal latency, which is the lowest amount of latency. And then you can add stream delay rather than Twitch's method of saying the standard one has a delay and they have low latency mode. So Trovo went the opposite way with that. Interesting. So I'm just looking at Trovo, one of the platforms I stream to, and like on Twitch, the standard default mode has latency, and then you can choose to use low latency. But on Trovo, the basic is low latency, and then you can choose to add delay to reduce buffering if your bitrate is not as, you know, healthy. I think that makes significantly more sense than having low latency mode. Like, would you, thank you for the alert, Miss Biff Chips, would you not want as little latency as possible as standard? I mean, true. But I was on about from a purely from a user-based perspective. You know, purely from a user-based perspective. Well, I mean, I use low latency mode, which is a server-side setting. Like, the low latency mode in the player is different to the streamer-side latency modes. As far as I know. It's to do with how buffering is handled on the client side when using the one in the player. Whereas low latency mode by the server is to do with how the server does buffering. If that makes sense at all. Basically, on Twitch's end, on standard mode, they hold a few seconds of stream on the server, so that if you disconnect or your bitrate is unstable, you know, it doesn't, like, you'd notice the jump in the stream, but it doesn't do the whole, there's an issue flashing blue screen thing. Well, low latency mode is basically, when it gets to the server, they deliver that as quickly as they can to the clients that are watching, without holding anything in reserve. So it takes up no storage, it's just processed and sent on. And then Twitch are testing peer-to-peer streaming on in Korea. So like, I don't quite know how it works, but like, there's a certain users are selected, I'm guessing at random, and then they act like a seed, so they would have the lowest latency, and then it's forwarded from then to somebody else who is watching the stream. I don't know what protocol they're using for that, but that's an interesting concept to reduce costs for the platform. My eyes are itchy. There's a call. Rip. Does your phone even have Twitch support, being as old as it is? Chev, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? It's been a long time since you've managed to make it to a stream. Wait, did we get raided? Did I? Why did I not get a... Thank you, Streamlabs. Yeah, Streamlabs, thank you. Chev, welcome Raiders. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Yeah, I'm using multi-chat because I am restreaming to many platforms, so I don't see system messages. Cahoots! Thank you for the follow, very much appreciated. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. I wasn't meant to be streaming this late, but I'm just having a good time today, so we'll keep doing it. It's scammed. Something like that, Chef. Something like that. I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you? Just doing Hercules. Nice. And I'm doing pretty well today. I stream RuneScape 7 days a week at the moment. Although I am thinking about mixing in another game or two. Because I'm starting to feel the burnout. And I've been streaming RuneScape every day for quite a long time now. And I'm starting to feel the burnout. So I'm very much considering mixing in some other games. 1 or 2 games just throughout the week. Like, on the schedule. So it might be like Fortnite Fridays or something. I don't think I'll play Fortnite, but... just as an example. That's just the game that popped in my brain. But I want to play, like... some people are saying try old school, but I want to play something completely different, you know? I want to play something completely different. Overwatch is chill. I don't think I've even ever watched anyone play Overwatch. I don't know anything about the game. Is it free? Because if it's free, then... Minesweeper. Nah, Minesweeper stresses me out, man. Minesweeper gets my anxiety going real bad. It's free. I hate TF2. Hate TF2. No worries, Chev. No worries. Have a good day. And once again, thank you for the raid. Guys, if you haven't checked Chev out, you know what to do. Oh, what's it pretty sick. Also, the ruler. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. It's nice to see you guys in chat. It's nice to see you guys in chat. I'm getting hungry, guys, and that is a problem. It is a problem. Say what you want, say what you like. Fixing to nap before work, good luck, and thank you for the follow. I stream RuneScape every day, so please do come back. Enjoy your nap. And I hope work goes well for you today. We are gathering memory shards at the moment. And then we can make portals out of them. And do a crap ton more mining. I do lots of things in game, but usually I set myself silly challenges. Thank you, Red. We did make 5 million rune arrows, 1,000 Elder Rune pickaxes, and we most recently mined 100,000 Luminite and Runite ore. That was pretty good. I think my issue with Overwatch and similar games is, like Valorant or whatever, is I don't want to be voice chatting while streaming. And I feel like to get the most out of those style of games, you need to voice chat. Does that make sense? Solitaire, no thank you. I can't imagine I'd get many viewers playing Solitaire, man. The idea is to drive more viewership, not bore everyone to death. As ever intelligent to begin with. If I... We're doing alright. We're doing alright. Right, we're back, guys, we're back. And I'm presuming audio will be broken on Twitch. I'm presuming audio is going to be broken on Twitch. Because Twitch do be like that. It is frustrating. Yeah. You know, I desperately want to just get Sterling. But I just can't afford it. It's quite after a raid as well. What? It's quite what after a raid? I feel like you missed a word out there, Red. And we missed that call. Time-wise, it's quite close. Ah, yeah. It's not like I can even go to a 5G provider here. It's not like I can even go to a 5G provider here because There's no 5G here. I can't even get good 4G. And they turned 3G off. No, they turned 2G off. We've still got 3G at the moment. I'm usually on HSDPA connections, which is 3G. But that's still terrible here. I might write to my MP about it. Not that I think they'll do anything, but... You know? I'm getting hungry, guys. This is annoying. Although it is late and I've got to do some shit. You see, the thing is, I don't know if my internet connectivity issues are Virgin or the Ethernet connection I use, because it runs outside. Now, it is externally rated cable, but it's been there for quite some time now. So when the computer gets moved to the studio, which I may actually do tomorrow, I will be able to... What's the word? I'll be able to know if it's the cable or the connection. Because it could just be that this Ethernet cables, you know, they don't last forever. Wind, rain, UV. And it, to be honest, it's not super well tied down, so I imagine it will be rubbing up against the brickwork in high wind. So it could be that it's this Ethernet cable, right? I don't think it is, because it's only, what, 3 years old? Which isn't that old for externally rated UV protected cable, right? But it's possible. So when I'm in the studio, if I'm still having issues, I know it's connection, and I can get on the phone to Virgin Media and be like, sort your shit. The problem is Virgin know I've got no other option. There's a car. Nice. The thing that irritates me about internet service providers is they always advertise the down speed, but they don't advertise the upload speed in a lot of situations. Which is annoying because for me, upload is more important. I mean, to a degree, like, as long as I've got like 100 megabit download, 50 megabit download, like, that's fine. Oof. No, I know that, but would it not make sense to advertise both speeds? Like, but I'm not talking about in the ads. Like, I'm looking on the Sterling webpage here, and it doesn't tell me the upload anywhere. It tells me customers in your region typically see download speeds of whatever, but it does not in anywhere tell me the upload. When I go to Virgin Media's website, it doesn't tell me the upload. I go to the OpenReach website, it doesn't tell me the upload. It's not a case of it's not in advertisements. Like, I don't think you need to advertise your upload speed, but it should be somewhere. Oh, you said ADSL. I completely misread that. I don't have in. No, but I think they should, by law, have to say what they are. I don't think they should advertise it. I don't think it's an advertising point for most people. You know? But I think you should be able to click see more and know the upload speed. Or the projected upload speed or whatever. Does that make sense at all? There should be some way. There should be some way that I can click a button, or, you know, more details about this connection. I mean, I don't think it would ever be a bill on its own, but being part of a larger transparency bill when it comes to services in general, or even telecoms, I think it could pass. You know, because we should have, in my opinion, more transparency in telecoms when it comes to prices and things. And I think we could theoretically see, if it was to ever become law, it would be part of a much larger bill rather than it be just its own law. I don't think there's any point in passing a singular law that's only task is to make it so that internet service providers have to advertise upload speed. I don't think that's even a good use of Parliament time. You know? I don't think that when you think of all the things that are going on in the world, that right now is top of the agenda. But at some point it would be nice to be added to the appropriate bill. You'd be surprised, like, we have pretty good consumer protections in the UK, and if we ever get rid of the Tories, I imagine there will be more work done to further consumer protection in the UK. Because Labour, Green Party, SNP all want more consumer protection, not less. It's only really the Tories that are against it. I don't think it would ever pass with a Tory government. I'll give you that. But a Labour government, maybe. And that's not talking about, like, my opinions on governments or anything. I personally think most politicians are out for themselves. And I mean, it's only natural, right? Humans are like that. Sound is fixed, awesome. You know, humans are naturally like that, and I don't think yeah. I'm a government skeptic, okay? I know that it would never work in practice, but direct democracy is something that, if we could ever make it work in the time of smartphones, whatever, would be most likely. But people just wouldn't have the time to vote on everything, which is why we have representative democracy instead. Does that make sense? Are there any countries in the world what do direct democracy? We're not going to get that core in time, I don't think. Oh, we did get it. Awesome. There's a car. You have not... Wait, Switzerland's a direct democracy? I genuinely don't know this. No. Not that I know of. I don't know, I didn't hear anything. But I have headphones on, so I don't hear everything. Ah, okay, okay. That makes sense. Interesting. There's a car. Believe it or not, I still have the TFL and rail map downloaded on your phone. I mean, I never delete anything I download on my phone. I've probably got so much shit. Alright guys, I am going to end stream here because I'm starving and it's just me and Red at this point. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I very much have appreciated it. Have a good day, night, morning, afternoon or evening. Whatever you watch this live as a video on YouTube, guys, look after yourselves, stay safe, and last but not least, as